All right, guys, we're back with another weather update. I'm meteorologist Michael Prianti, joined with Mike Mahalik. And Mike, we're about not halfway through the first week of March, and so far it's been very quiet.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Winter's been pretty mild in the Northeast for most of the winter, and March is leading off the same sort of way. We can't seem to get a storm going on here, but we do still have some active weather, right, Mike?
Of course we do, and there is a chance we could see some thunderstorms, and then of course a late week coastal storm, which doesn't look to be favorable for us in the Northeast, as has been the story this entire winter. Of course, this is your forecast for Tuesday, March 3rd. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, so you don't miss out on future videos. So with that being said, let's take a look at the potential for starting with thunderstorms this afternoon or evening. Sure. So, we had some drizzle and showers earlier Tuesday morning, but that has cleared out. We have some sun here, but that's going to help spew more or less the potential for some storm activity, and that's what the NAM here shows for the afternoon. But the real story is going to be that second push of storms.
Yeah, the front side showers probably won't produce a whole lot of thunderstorm activity, but then as we get to the evening, that's when the cold front gets closer there, and then you see some of those showers breaking out across central Pennsylvania, back towards Harrisburg, back towards Hagerstown, Maryland, maybe Gaithersburg. And then that moves off to the east into the evening there.
Yeah, and then that goes into New England. And some of these could actually be fairly gusty. I mean, I don't think we're going to call it severe by any point of this stretch here, but some could be gusty, downpours. And of course, there is some what we like to call, convective available potential energy. This is kind of the fuel for thunderstorms. We see this more often in the summer, but of course, early spring, it is meteorological spring. But we're still in that, winter season, but sometimes you get these early seasons, storm outbreaks.
And I mean, it's not much what Mike's showing you there. I mean, it might be about 300 to 500 joules, something like that, of energy that these thunderstorms can use. But, it's not much, but for March standards, it's not too bad. So that's what's going to give those thunderstorms a little bit of pop as they come through.
Right, and then after that, it's going to be quiet, maybe some flurries on Wednesday or Thursday, but overall, not too bad. But then we go a little bit closer to our next system, which brings us back into the winter realms. We go from the summer severe, well, not severe, but storm realm into the winter realm. So let's just take a wide picture here. Why don't we with the GFS? And this is going to be our storm. This is about Friday morning. And notice we have the little coastal storm that develops. We have a little bit of an upper level system that leaves some snow showers. But notice one key thing, Mike, here is that they don't really connect. You don't see these two. They're two separate entities. They don't really connect. And that's, I think, going to be the reason why we don't get a big storm here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that southern piece with these two storms forming a bit further south overnight with the newest information, and also this morning here. So, they're just not coming together, and they're not phasing until it gets well off the coast. And we'll show you the energy here. You have that piece of energy in northern plains going into the Great Lakes, that southern stream energy down into the South Carolina and Carolinas. That slides quickly off the coast. Now, if those two would have met up sooner, this would have been a pretty major storm for the eastern seaboard. But it just looks like they're too far apart. They're not going to get their act together and phased quick enough. So that's why, that storm's trended further east, and we're not seeing a whole lot of snow for the Northeast, or rain for that matter.
Of course, the Euros does the exact same thing. One interesting thing, though, Mike, here is that, I don't think we're going to be totally out of the question of some snow showers. There is a little bit of a enhancement as it starts to come north with that southern energy. A little bit of enhancement from that storm, and then, of course, the northern stream of energy could lead to maybe some localized, rain or even snow, maybe even snow in the interior, but rain. Definitely precipitation on Friday evening.
And that was a key to this storm. We were looking for heavy precipitation because there's not a lot of cold air available with this.
Not at all.
So the heavy precipitation would have brought down some cold air from aloft, would have gave us a better chance of seeing more snow. But With this situation, we have lighter precipitation with that upper level energy coming through the Great Lakes, coming through Pennsylvania. So we're just looking at kind of light snow showers, maybe more occasional light snow would be the probably worst of it here.
Right.
Maybe there's some salting threats going into Friday night there. But it's all out by Saturday morning because that's the pattern we're stuck in. It's a very progressive pattern. Things are pushing right along.
Yeah, and really no threats again into next week until we, of course, this is going into long range. So we're not going to dive too deep into that. We're going to stop it right there before, we get a little crazy here because, model data at past, 150 hours, you can go anywhere you want with that. But I think the main takeaway here is that, it looked like it was a little bit stronger this weekend with this system, but now, as you see, the pieces of energy, when they don't come in line, they really don't lead up to a big storm. And of course, that means that, we're still going to be waiting for that one storm that maybe brings us snow, but I don't know if that's going to come anytime soon.
And the problem is we weren't really huge on this storm to begin with because the pattern overall is not really supportive.
Yeah.
You have a positive AO, you have a positive NAO, you have a negative PNA. There's just nothing really supporting on a larger scale to get a nice big storm on the East Coast. So, that's what we have.
Well, that's all we have, I guess. And, we're hoping for some snow before we call it quits here. We still have technically a few more weeks of astronomical winter before we dive into finally spring, which I think is the 20th of March or the 21st.
I think it's the 19th, actually.
Is it earlier this year? Okay, well, we'll see if we can squeak out some snow before then. For now, thanks for joining us here on our weather video. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms. And if you want to know what we do professionally, make sure you follow us at the link at weatherworksinc.com.